My name is Mr. Wallace, Maine, or Megan, however they pronounce it, Tillett. Most of the people in Belize call me Walito. I was given that name by some people in Los Angeles. I had a brain aneurysm back in January of 2016. It caused a clot that deprived my lower extremities from oxygen. My nerves were completely dead, but they're starting to come back. So I'm what you would call a paraplegic for right now. As for my therapy, haven't had any in a while because I got cut off. He's more than just my therapist. He happened to be one of my very good friends. And for a while he was doing it for free because he saw my situation. Then he couldn't do it anymore because life gets harder and bills have to be paid, which I understand. I used to be able to do sit-ups, pull-ups, all sorts of things, walk from here to that sink with my walker. Now I can barely get out of bed on my walker because instead of progressing, I regress. The muscles, they're going dormant because they don't get worked out and massaged or anything like that. I do feel that there's hope. I just need that. It's essential. A year or two before I got like this, I was able to dunk a basketball. At some level, I would like to be able to be on my own without, I can't even change a light bulb. And part of my background is being an electrician, and I can't do these things. There's a lot of different challenges. I mean, financially, yes, I worry about where's my next meal, how am I going to pay for my medication, my diapers. I have to pay people to go to the corner store for me. I got to pay people to go to the bank, and those are people that I have to trust. There's times when I don't have essentials. Belize Assembly for Persons with Diverse Abilities would step up and deal with stuff that I need in the kitchen, whether it be canned goods or, non-perishable things. My instrument, this chair that I'm in, this electric wheelchair and other things, stuff that, a handicapped person needs, they supply that. They really look out for me that way.
My name is Mirna and I am 38 years old. I am married and I have a 9-year-old daughter. I do everything that you do, it's just in a different way. I work here at the 501 Hub, it's a restaurant. My job mainly is to answer the phone, to make reservations. The challenges that I usually meet every day are numberless, but the one that I face mostly are transportation. Like if I'm in the bus, my husband is holding me already, and there's someone sitting right there. And then we will say, "Miss, can I please have the seat?" And she said, "No, you need to find another seat. I am sitting here." "But miss, you have space." That's my bag there. I have experiences like that. That, to me, is real discrimination. People need to understand that we have the same rights as them. My philosophy in life is that you treat and you do to others the way you want people to do to you or to your children or family.
Hi, my name is Roxanne Marin. I am the president of BAPDA, the Belize Assembly for Persons with Diverse Abilities. I am a person living with a hidden disability. When you look at me, you're not able to see my disability, and so it makes life more challenging for persons like myself. However, since becoming disabled 6 years ago, I joined BAPDA. I was serving on the board, and then for the last 2.5 years, I was nominated and elected as president of this prestigious organization. BAPDA was formed in 1985. In 1985, it was BAPD, Belize Association for Persons with Disabilities, under the leadership of Honorable Philip Golson. At the time, Honorable Golson was the Minister of Human Development and a person with a disability. So he saw the need where our population was being closed off, locked up in houses, not being heard, and then have access to government services. And so it was his brainchild to start BAPDA, BAPD. BAPD became dormant for a while, and then it emerged under Care Belize, and Care Belize then re-established BAPDA, which is the Belize Assembly for Persons with Diverse Abilities. Okay. BAPDA was active in lobbying to have the convention signed and ratified in Belize, and so after they were working together in 2009-2010, in 2011, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities was signed and ratified in Belize. President of BAPDA is led by our board. This is a board that is totally voluntary. We have persons from our membership that is part of our board, and also persons that are not persons with disabilities. And so once you support our initiatives, you can come and join us, and you can also become a part of our board. Our board serves for 2 years. We have monthly meetings, and we are always looking for qualified persons with awesome resources and that have vested interest in joining us. Becoming a member of BAPDA, you can either contact us through our email, call us, give us a phone call, or if you are able to visit our office at the corner of Vernon and Tiburon Streets. We are open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Our office is at 146 Vernon Street. It's inside the Mental Health Welcome Resource Center. BAPDA rents an office space inside that building, so we only utilize mental health office space for our monthly support meetings. At the end of those meetings, whenever we would have Christmas parties or different activities, we also utilize this mental health space. Volunteers are always welcome. We can be reached at phone number 631-0724 or 626-5096. Our email address is BAPDA, BAPDA.Belize, BELIZE, @gmail.com. Or you can visit our Facebook page and send us the message. BAPDA membership is primarily mostly Belize City. However, our membership spans the entire country. To become a board member, you can join the organization and become active in our monthly support meetings in the different activities that we have. We are always looking for qualified, resourceful persons that have vested interests, genuine, sincere, honest interest in joining our organization. BAPDA is not a service provision organization. We are an advocacy organization. However, throughout the course of the year, we do have several activities with our international and local partners. For example, in January of each year, most of the time it's located in Roaring Creek, Belmopan. We have the wheelchair missions, assistive devices, and so a bus full of our membership would go up, and we would get local wheelchairs, motorized wheelchairs, manual wheelchairs. We would get walking sticks, we would get canes, we would get bathing chairs, and different things that our members would need that is not easily affordable in Belize. And so this is a service that is given for free every year. We also do prosthetic missions where we partner with Prosthetic Hope International. They have doctors that come in several times for the year. So persons with amputations are able to now affordably access having prosthetic limbs. Also, in March, we would participate in the Women's Month. Later on in July, we usually have Camp Joy, which is a camp specially designed for children with intellectual disabilities. These are 25 to 30 children that would have a facilitator assigned to each child for the duration of that camp. It's a costly camp. However, BAPDA raised funds for members to have the opportunity to participate in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Also, we have activities such as we are participants of the Expo Fair every year, and that gives us an opportunity, a platform to raise awareness and to display the different skills that our members may have. In October, November, we would have a picnic in the park for our membership. We would have recreational trips. In December, it's recognized as the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, December 3rd. And so on that day, we would have a parade and have activities for our membership. We also, in that week, we would do home visits, school visits, and reach out to our population at large. This is the week where we would do most advocacy for persons with disabilities in Belize. And at the final time of the year, Christmas time, always a good time, we raise funds and donations to have a Christmas party for 150 of our members. I believe we have had several huge accomplishments. After lobbying for the United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities being signed and ratified, we have opened up doors as it pertains to people even understanding and realizing and accepting that we have persons with disabilities in our communities, in our families, in our schools. One of the biggest moves since the convention has been signed is inclusion of teachers' aides within the schools. We have had support in terms of integrating persons with disabilities within the regular school system compared to them having just specialized treatment. One of the advantages of our organization is that each year with Camp Joy, our persons with disabilities or young people have a special opportunity to feel included, to feel like a regular person going to camp. This camp allows them for 5 days they do swimming, they interact with pets, they do arts and craft, they have their talent night, which is an amazing opportunity to view. And so even giving our membership that opportunity to have that out of the city experience is by itself a huge accomplishment. Keep in mind that our past office coordinator, Ms. Eva Middleton, was very instrumental in reaching out on the airwaves on the radio stations in the mornings, just bringing disability to the table, to the forefront in Belize. BAPDA in itself does a lot of advocacy when it relates to other organizations, other health organizations. As much as possible, we refer our membership to the different services that are available. And so in small steps, we have made big accomplishments for membership in enhancing their lives. BAPDA did a pilot project in 2016 for the first disability ID cards. These cards are going to be nationwide. The reason why we decided to do a BAPDA disability ID card is to assist our membership when it comes to services in terms of grocery shopping, health services, and as we later on found out, it assists them when it comes to police interaction, police detention, and police incarceration. The BAPDA ID assists our membership to sensitize police officers as to the situation. Our persons with autism might not be able to explain themselves, and so the police themselves might see that as a resistance. Having a BAPDA ID on your person can give the police a better idea as to what may or may not be happening, or that they may need to contact someone else to assist. Since this year started, we have had several incidents with our population and as it relates to police interaction. The seriousness of that situation is that one of our members even became incarcerated simply because he was not understanding what was being asked. He signed onto a document that he did not understand, and by the time we realized the seriousness of the situation, he was already fined and sentenced to prison. And so even having interaction within the prison system for them to sensitize their officers on how to process a person with a disability. In the case of the police stations in Belize City, I must say that the police have been supported when we have been called out, for the simple fact that persons with disabilities, maybe an autistic person, you may want to grab them and handcuff them. That would agitate that person and make a situation combative. You might want to take them and put them in a cell, which is not the best option, because then you're making the situation worse than it already is. And so to avoid further violent incidences with our population, we believe that the BAPDA Disability ID card has become very instrumental in having them identified with the police department. Okay. Front of the Line campaign is one of the partnerships that we're working with the National Council of Aging on. It's a campaign that has been developing for quite some time. It's finally on the table now. It's going to be launched later on this year for sure. And what that campaign is doing is targeting businesses on making spaces for our population. And that space becomes not only the line that is with a sign saying that this is a line specialized for persons with disabilities, for elderly persons, and for pregnant women, but also to have seats for these people when they are waiting their turn. Also, it brings to the forefront when it comes to bathrooms in public spaces. Bathrooms the doors have to be wide enough for a chair to pass through. There has to be handlebars for persons to hold on to support to get up and to sit down. Simple things like having the toilet paper roll placed in a strategic location is something that might be overlooked. And so the Front of the Line campaign is bringing these issues to the forefront. When it comes to having ramps, the universal design for ramps for persons with disabilities is a standard procedure. However, businesses might want to enhance it in their belief by putting tiles on the ramps, which is like the worst thing you can do for person in a wheelchair. When it rains, these ramps that are pretty in the dry season becomes dangerous in the wet season. And so the Front of the Line campaign is going to be bringing things like this to the forefront, and BAPDA is so happy to be a part of that campaign. Annual activities. Definitely the wheelchair missions in January, definitely being included in Women's Month. And one of the things we're looking forward this year is that whenever we're being included in these activities, that there are vehicles that are able to transport our personnel, because it's all good and well for us to be included. However, if it's not processed the proper way, then we can only be included to a certain extent, and that defeats the entire purpose. And so in March, we definitely will be part of Women's Month. In July is when we have our Camp Joy. In September is when we have our Expo Fair. October, November is when we would more likely do a picnic in the park and a recreational trip. And then we have the highlight of the year, which is December, and the month of Persons with Disabilities, International Day of Persons with Disabilities is December 3rd. And in that week is where we highlight different activities from the different organizations. Definitely we start off doing the TV interviews. We have school visits, we have home visits, we have the spelling bee, we have Special Olympics. There's several activities within the week for persons with disabilities. And so there's also the parade on the day itself, where we have the schools, Stella Maris and BAPDA participate. Huge parade, and we always invite everyone to come out and support us. And then the final activity for the year is BAPDA's Christmas party, which is hosted for 150 of our members. BAPDA is funded by a donor, thankfully. We have support from the government in a subsistence of $200 a month, of which we are thankful for, because every cent counts. However, BAPDA has to constantly be fundraising, either for in-kind donation or cash. Well, for BAPDA to continue on our goals, we definitely need continued support from our different health organizations, continued support from our international partners, such as Disabled Persons International, DPI, READIS, Latin Network of Central and South American countries, and definitely Commonwealth Disabled Persons Forum. It's instrumental for us to continue having support from these international organizations, as they also assist us in putting the spotlight on the issues of what the state's responsibilities are for persons with disabilities. In terms of government, it would be wonderful to have our subvention increased, to have more interactions as it relates to making policies and laws that affect the daily lives of persons with disabilities. Definitely from civil society, it's always good to have cash donations, but we can have in-kind donations. Our population is always in need of Pampers, of chucks, of sanitary products, of health products. And so continued support, donations from our Belizean population is always necessary for BAPDA to continue reaching our goals. Donations to BAPDA can be made in several ways. You can always pick up the phone, give us a call. The number is 631-0724. That is 631-0724. Or you can reach us at our email, which is bapdabelize@gmail.com, bapda.belize@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page that can be found, BAPDA Belize. And last and not least, we have an account at Heritage Bank. That account number is 00102-02430. And so any of those options, you can reach us out for a donation, or you can visit our office at the corner of Vernon and Tibreu Streets. We are here on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our office coordinator is Ms. Doris Foreman, and BAPDA's office number is 626-5096. BAPDA is funded by our benefactors, Mr. and Mrs. Ford Young. Several years ago, they had gifted a lump sum of money to BAPDA, which has been what we've been using to keep our doors open, to keep our activities every month. Unfortunately, after several years, that money has dwindled down to almost nothing, and so We have to become innovative now as to how to bring in cash and resources for the organization to stay alive and to keep the doors open. Besides from the cash that they gifted to us, they also gifted us a property in Cayo. And so the board has made a decision to sell that property so that we may establish a headquarters for BAPDA here in Belize City. Also, we are funded by the government of Belize with a small subsidy of $200 a month. And so definitely we would be asking the government to increase that subsidy for us. Additionally, BAPDA survives on donations from different entities, not just businesses, but personal donations. And these are always through checks, drop off at the office, or you call us and we can come and pick them up. For the most part, donations that would come in would be clothes, would be Pampers, would be healthcare products, sanitary products, grocery items, vegetables at some point in time. And so these are things that we would share with our membership when we receive them from time to time.